Today's two-round Mel Kiper NFL mock draft reaction is made possible by RexMD. I'll tell you all about them later on in today's show, but only pay $2 per dosage. The number one leader in men's telehealth at rexmd.com/chat. Now, we will have more NFL draft videos right here, and of course, we will be live for the 2023 NFL draft. So if you haven't already, please make sure you guys are subscribed. First overall pick in the latest Mel mock draft is Bryce Young, going number 1 overall. Early buzz says Stroud. A little bit more saying Bryce Young lately. Still don't know what the pick will be with about 3 weeks to go here for the number 1 pick. But Kiper's got Bryce Young number 1. No surprise, CJ Stroud at number 2 then for the Houston Texans. A little bit of buzz about not quarterback. I would be pretty surprised by that one. The Cardinals have made it very clear they do not want to pick at number 3. A trade happens here for Mel Kiper. It is a significant trade. Tennessee jumping division rival Colts, so it's 3 straight AFC South teams here at 2, 3, 4. Cardinals get a first, a second, a future first, and either a future first or second in the Mel Kiper mock draft trade as Tennessee skyrockets up the board to take Anthony Richardson at number 3 overall. Malik Willis is a third rounder. He was a mess last year. I'm not sure the head coach likes him all that much. Also worth mentioning, Tennessee, so far at least, has kept Ryan Tannehill and his hefty contract untouched for the time being, and he's coming off injury, and Malik Willis, the only other quarterback on the roster. Brian Windor says, now why would they do that with 2 quarterbacks on the roster, and that's it? Maybe they do want one this year. That leaves Will Levis as the pick at number 4 overall to the Indianapolis Colts. This is a guy Mel Kiper's a big fan of. Quarterbacks have gone top 3 times, most recently 2021. The draft has never seen 4 straight quarterbacks to open up a draft. So will history be made this year? Will it be quarterbacks to begin? Y for yes and for no in the comments section, the pinned comments of today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there. Let us know. Will QBs go with the first 4 picks? Y or N? Seattle, then, does not take Will Levis. They take Jalen Carter, who they are bringing in for a pre-draft meeting. It depends on how the off-the-field stuff gets verified. Carter is the pick for Seattle, and the Detroit Lions fall over themselves, getting to the podium to take Will Anderson, who I'd be a little surprised if Seattle passed on Will Anderson, but that's what happens here. Spoiler alert, this Detroit mock draft is absolutely loaded. Anderson to the Lions. I think that one will go over well in Detroit. Devon Witherspoon is the pick here for the Raiders, number 7 overall, perhaps the top corner off the board. 4-4s in the 40s is big for him. Glad he ran that one there. Nolan Smith is the pick at number 8 overall, edge rusher out of Georgia over Tyree Wilson. I think in a 3-4 fit, which I think you'll see in Atlanta, it's great. The local product. I don't mind that pick at all for Atlanta. Here's a surprise. Darnell Wright is the first tackle off the board. Not Skoronski, not Broderick Jones, not Paris Johnson Jr. He can plug and play at right tackle, and if the Bears want to keep Braxton Jones on the left side, which, okay, Wright does make sense, but that'll protect Justin Fields. That seems a little bit early, at least for my own board there. Number 10, Peter Skoronski out of Northwestern. Again, you have Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson. Do you need a guard? I'm not so sure if you do, though. I think Skoronski's going to be a stud in the NFL at guard. Arizona, remember, they moved down to 11, and they still get Tyree Wilson, who can do some base end stuff. Philadelphia maybe kick inside as well. If the Cardinals can trade down, still get Tyree Wilson, and that's a pretty fantastic outcome for Arizona. Jaxon Smith-Njigba gets to reunite with CJ Stroud in Houston. I think that one's kind of fun in the end. Broderick Jones, the pick to the Jets here, not Paris Johnson Jr. I find that one quite interesting, but I do think Broderick Jones has a real chance to be, if not the first tackle. I think there could be some surprises there. I don't agree with it, but I think Mel's onto something here with the Jones and Wright, where they went roughly standpoint with Johnson sliding. It'd be a good fit for the Jets, but I would have, in the end, Paris Johnson higher. More on him later on, of course, but today's show is made possible by RexMD. If you sometimes lack confidence in the bedroom, you've had the night where you get a little nervous, or maybe you just had too much to drink, there's nothing worse than not being able to put the stick shift in drive when you need it most. But have no fear. RexMD is here to spread some cheer even when you had a few too many beers. RexMD is FDA approved and the most trusted leader in men's telehealth. They have sponsored today's NFL Daily Mel Kiper mock draft reaction. Hope you always be prepared. RexMD has made it simple, easy, and cost-effective to help all the men out there last longer and feel more confident in the bedroom. RexMD makes getting generic and branded Viagra or Cialis easy. Everything's online, even the prescription, and they deliver it discreetly to your door. No waiting rooms, no embarrassing trips to the doctor, no insurance, no copays. Take advantage of the best deal they've ever offered and tip to 90% and only pay $2 per dosage with our exclusive link. Go to rexmd.com/chat for this limited time deal. Starter packs of generic Viagra and Cialis are available. It's rexmd.com/chat to get started for up to 90% off. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. Number 14, Christian Gonzalez off the board here. This would be an absolute steal for the New England Patriots, a home run selection for them. Hey, weird stuff happens. That'd be one of the best picks in round one. First item taken by Green Bay, Dalton Kincaid. Got to check that back out, by the way. I've got Michael Mayer higher. I would wonder if Kincaid's the best fit for Green Bay, but as a pass catcher, he's one of the better ones in this year's class. I love the Commanders here. Joey Porter Jr., number 16. I'm a big fan of his game. Plug and play at starter, and you keep him away from the Steelers, which is kind of funny. Who's surprised at 17? Zay Flowers is the pick. They have Deontay Johnson. They have George Pickens. They spent a relatively premium pick last year on Calvin Austin. I don't know if receiver's the biggest need. Mel loves Zay Flowers, though. He's the pick at 17 over Paris Johnson Jr., who we're still waiting on. It's not a pick 18. Now, this one might not go over as well here. Bijan Robinson, Lions. Hey, you know what? You got Jalen Carter. That one isn't as popular there, which okay. But Bijan at 18, I don't know about it, man. It's a luxury pick. You have David Montgomery and DeAndre Swift. Is that the route you're really going to go? So overall, I think the Lions had a great draft. It's actually the first two picks I don't love the most. How about Paris Johnson Jr. down to number 19? That would be a fantastic selection for Tampa. Wirfs can stay on the right side. I think Johnson's the best tackle this year. Great pick for Tampa. Seattle now at pick number 20. So remember, the Lions got Will Anderson. Seattle took Jalen Carter at 5, allowing Anderson to slide. Then they take Myles Murphy at number 20 overall. I'm fine with it. I probably would have just taken Will Anderson, but you're getting a good value there at number 20, so I think Carter Murphy's a real outcome, but maybe not if Anderson slides. Jordan Addison, number 21, giving them some speed a little bit because they need it. They got a lot of slow guys at wide receiver. Addison's not an elite burner, but he's got a little bit more juice. Love the Deonte Banks fit here for the Ravens. They're trying to replace Marcus Peters. Banks can start immediately on the outside in a good scheme fit. Emmanuel Forbes, the next best corner left, and Minnesota desperately needs one, so I'm on board there. Lucas Van Ness out of Jacksonville. I think they might prefer a corner, but there is some inside positional flexibility here. And you're also adding him to Trayvon Walker, Josh Allen. That's a lot of investment, but value's decent. Don't love DJ Turner here out of Michigan. Mel thinks he's an outside player. He's not very big. Might be a nickel in the NFL, but he's a burner. I think he's a top 50 player. Top 25, well, that's what they issue, right? 25 to 50, the player is not that much different in the end. I think DJ Turner does work as a sleeper round 1 prospect, though, as close as we could have as a sleeper, I guess. Who do you think that player is, or players? Drop the name for me in the comments section. Michael Mayer to Dallas Cowboys, 26. I'm a big fan. I know tight end value is low, but he's a baller. Trenton Simpson to the Bills here. Maybe Drew Sanders is more popular. Big difference in Mel's versus Todd Mock's draft. About a full round difference between where Simpson went late round 2 in McShay. Brian Brzee to the Bengals. I might go tight end here, but the upside of Brzee is still worth a pick roughly in this particular range. Kalijah Cansey is undersized. It's a real red flag, but a disruptive DPR as a 3 technique does carry some value. One more trade for Mel Kiper. Seattle is jumping up the board, overpaying with both of their seconds. The first, second, and a third is actually still a bit of an overpay trade value chart-wise. To get to number 30, to get the 5th-year option for Hendon Hooker. I am kind of out on this Seahawks mock draft. To pass on Will Anderson and take Hendon Hooker too. 2 seconds, overpay for a 25-year-old who's going to be 26 as a rookie who played in a Mickey Mouse offense. Round 2, I can get a little bit more on board there. Giving up 2 seconds, move up 7 spots. Yeesh, I don't love that one. A lot of buzz on Hooker going round 1. I am not a fan. Do you think he will be a first-round pick, though? 1 for yes, 2 for no in the comments section. Sound off for me right now. To wrap up round 1, love this pick. Will McDonald out of Iowa State goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. An opposite player, opposite George Karlaftis. I'm a big fan of that particular move by the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, this video originally aired on our recently launched NFL Draft YouTube channel. We posted first round, second round separate all together here, but if you want it first, go subscribe over there, youtube.com/chatnfl. Round 2 of the latest Mel Kiper mock draft. I'll go a bit quicker here, I promise you. Anton Harrison to the Steelers. Love that pick. He can start at left tackle. I think he's a left guy. You compete with Dan Moore there, so on board with that pick. Felix Enrique-Uzomah, you need a pass rusher if you're Houston. There will be some good ones at 12 and or at 33. I'm a big fan of, I call him FAU for ease of pronunciation there. But Enrique-Uzomah is a great fit in Houston, I believe. How about Quentin Johnston, the DeAndre Hopkins replacement? Because nobody loves spending more assets on wide receivers than the Arizona Cardinals. But to get Quentin Johnston, who is a bit of a weird prospect, the skills, traits don't align, getting him in the second round, and then eventually moving away Hopkins, I can get on board with that one. Brian Branch out of Bama, Indianapolis Colts. I love the player. I really do. But you've got Kenny Moore for now in there at nickel. You've actually invested a lot in safeties in recent years, so I don't love the fit for Indy, but I do love the player. I think a straight outside corner would make some more sense. Now, Johnston, Brian Branch are among the players who could surprise and fall out of round 1 this year. Who do you think that ends up being the mostly viewed as a first-round pick that you think does not end up going in round 1? Make that prediction for me in the comments section right now. Keon White, there's your Leonard Ford replacement there. I think he fits in the defense. Even though he's actually like almost as big as he's actually bigger than Aaron Donald is, which is kind of funny. Even though he's an edge. Funny how that works out there. Like that fit, though, for the Rams. Remember this pick, 37 for the Eagles from the Hendon Hooker trade in round 1. Jahmyr Gibbs to Philadelphia. Man, Rashad Penny, Kenny Gainwell, and Jahmyr Gibbs. That's fun in that backfield that will have a lot of success on the ground with Jalen Hurts. Gibbs is a playmaker in every sense of the word, too. Love Osiris Torrance here to the Raiders. I think he's a right guard. In the NFL, I would plug and play him in there. He's going to be a top 30 player for me. 38, I love the value. Like the Drew Sanders pick here as well. I think he's really just an off-ball linebacker. He can blitz, but I don't think he's actually good enough as a full-time edge. He's a better version of Brandon Smith, who they took in the 4th round last year. Maybe not quite the same level of athlete because Smith's a freak, but just raw as hell. I like that pick for Carolina. Love Darnell Washington. That's my guy to the Saints at 40. This is Mel's first round pick for the Saints last time around, so falls to round 2 and still gets him to New Orleans. So sorry, Saints fan, there's not much new there. Mozzie Smith, this is via the Titans trade, by the way, to the Cardinals here, a run-stopping nose guard who can play in a 3-4 or in a 4-3, so I'm on board with that particular selection as well. Jets go tight end, which is, I have a bunch of them, Conklin, Uzama, Jeremy Ruckert. I don't love going tight end here. The upside, though, is there for Luke Musgrave. I have concerns about, but he is a dynamic player when healthy. Joe Tippmann, though, at 43, I'm on board with that one. Starting caliber center, and he would, I think, earn the job pretty quickly in New York. Now, Mel did put out this mock draft initially before the Jeffrey Okudah trade with the Atlanta Falcons. He has Keely Ringo as the pick here at number 44 overall. He did put in an update as we sit here filming this saying still thinks the Falcons should look at the secondary on day 2. They just not want to change it. I'm not so sure. It's 2 Georgia guys, though, for the Falcons, and Ringo does need time, I think, to develop a little bit, so draft and stash maybe in year 1. Byron Young, he's among the older prospects this year. He's 25. He and Hendon Hooker are both pretty old out of Tennessee this year. But he's got the juice, and Green Bay does need pass rush help. I just think it's a touch early. Matthew Bergeron out of Syracuse, I think would be a right tackle for the New England Patriots there. I think he still needs some work in pass protection, but there are flashes of quickness there that I'm very intrigued by. I don't love Blake Freeland going in the top 50 here. I've got more of a 4th round grade on him. The BYU offense hides their offensive tackles. He has real leverage and balance issues, but he actually played very well this past year. Tackles tend to rise. I just don't think he's a top 50 player. Jack Campbell. Okay. I mean, he tested really well at the combine. He does tend to get into issues when the ball's behind him, but as a throwback linebacker, I think he's a great Dan Campbell fit there, and eventually replaces Alex Anzalone at middle linebacker. Julius Brent to the Steelers here, number 49 overall at this point, which is it's about the right range. He's got the length NFL teams tend to love, so I don't hate that one at number 49 overall. Number 50, at a time at a Barre, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the selection. He's talking about putting him as a 5 technique, and I don't know if that's the best fit. He's a tweener. Is he an edge or is he an interior guy? I would play him at 3 technique, but I think mid-round 2 is about the right range for him. Now, how many rounds of the NFL draft will you guys watch? I'm going to be live for all 7 because I am a nerd and have no damn life. How many will you watch, I assume, with us here at Chat Sports? Drop that round number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, in the comment section. 51, the Dolphins take Steve Avila out of TCU, a plug-and-play at guard. Could also play some center as needed. I love that pick for Miami. I like the Derek Hall pick. Edge rusher, you're adding some depth. We know that Howie Roseman loves those premium positions. Derek Hall in the 2nd, no complaints there. Love the BJ Ojolari pick here. Wasn't as good this past year. There's plenty of flashes, though. Upside-wise, they need pass rush help. Getting him at 53 is a steal for Chicago. I think this is too early for Brenton Strange, personally. He's a nice player, but Mel's super high on him. So the Chargers, which I think Todd had the same pick. I gotta go back and check that one. But tight end, sure. Strange in the 2nd, a touch early. How about Jalen Hyatt to the Lions? Why not add more speed? Jamison Williams, Jalen Hyatt, along with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Josh Reynolds. I mean, it's fun. It's fast. Value's pretty good. The Lions in total got Will Anderson, Bijan Robinson, Jack Campbell, and Jalen Hyatt. Even if you don't love Bijan in round 1, it's a pretty good haul there. Cam Smith to the Jags. I love this pick. I don't know why he slid in mock drafts. I've always had a 2nd-round grade on him, which means he could go round 1, but he's seen as low as the 3rd round. Not sure what's up there. John Michael Schmitz out of Minnesota. Love this pick for the Giants. Plug and play at center. I actually have him over Joe Tippmann. Don't love this one. Jonathan Mingo is one of the few bigger receivers. This is a full round early from what I will have him graded at. And there were other receivers I like more here after the Cowboys picked Mingo, like Josh Downs. Such a good fit with Josh Allen. I think round 2. I don't know if he's going to get to him, but round 2, I love that fit for Buffalo. The Bengals go with Zach Charbonnet. Maybe a potential Joe Mixon replacement. He is the 3rd running back off the board. Charbonnet is not going to be a burner, not going to be a home run threat. He's going to be a good starter. Kalen Roy out of LSU, and over Keanu Benton, really? Roy occasionally shows some flashes, and he'd be a good scheme fit for the Bears, but I got a lot of better players on the board than Roy here. Jartavius Martin to the Philadelphia Eagles out of Illinois. Mel called him a free safety. He has the speed too, but he played a lot of nickel. So I'm not sure exactly where he plays in the NFL. With the trade down for Philadelphia, it's Skoronski, Gibbs, Derek Hall, and Jartavius/Quan Martin. Pretty good pick. Marvin Mims to the Chiefs. That's fun. There's some more speed for KC. I think, again, Mims, Downs, better than Mingo there. That'd be a pretty fun pick there for KC and for Patrick Mahomes. So grade Mel Kiper's latest NFL mock draft. Just want to grade it for your favorite team. That is fine too. But sound off A, B, C, D, or F in the comment section.